Hi everyone, welcome back to She's Intimidating. I'm your host Jess, and I have a very special guest with me.
Hi, Isabella here.
I'm so excited you're here. She owns a swimming suit company called True Tone Swim, and we're going to get all into that. But first of all, she's a huge reason why I'm actually out here. And I messaged you to ask if you wanted to come on the podcast, and you suggested I get a studio, which I've never done that. And and I've been so nervous about this podcast, but I mean, after meeting you, this is going to be great. I'm so excited. So thank you for coming on.
Of course, I'm excited.
And I'm excited to get to know you. So I want to kind of go back to your roots first. And where were you born?
So I was actually born in San Diego, but I stayed there a few months, and then my parents uprooted my brother and I both to Italy. So essentially, like, I feel more Italian just because I grew up there.
Oh, for sure.
From like 4 months to high school.
Okay, and then did you come back here in high school?
So I went to boarding school in Germany, so I kind of have like a crazy 10 life.
But that's kind of awesome,
situation,
because I'm sure it's like made you exactly who you are now.
Oh, 100%. And like meeting so many different people has made me really flexible and like being able to move wherever. Like if someone tomorrow was like, you should move to Australia, like I'll be like, you know?
Okay.
I'd be down.
Wait, what's your sign? When were you born?
I'm Bilancia. It's October.
October what?
The scale.
Libra.
Libra?
Yes.
Okay. Is that my rising? Is that what you say?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Libra. I'm not a Libra though, but maybe I am. I'm in November, so I'm a Sagittarius.
Okay.
I even have this tattoo on my back
Ooh, I
of
love
my
that.
star sign.
Nice.
So you mentioned a brother, so it's just you and your brother?
Correct.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Is your family still in Italy?
So they go back and forth. My dad's full Italian.
Okay.
But he moved out here for the Olympics for swimming. So
Alright.
he has another crazy story for himself. But yeah, so just brother and both my parents kind of travel back and forth because my brother just had 2 kids, so they kind of want to be part of everything.
Oh, I love that. Is your brother here then too?
He's in Tennessee.
Okay. Honestly, I think I saw that when I was talking to you because I saw Tennessee and I'm like, okay, I was just trying to get a feel a little
Again,
bit.
very random.
How to do my research.
Yeah, so he has a food prep company out there called Vibrant Meals.
Okay.
So it's like a healthy food.
He's like my healthy food fanatic over here, so
Yes and no.
you're a really good chef. And you cook me all the good meals.
Well, thank you. I try. I dabble. I can't do it for a job. I like to drink when I cook.
Yes, you do. We both do. So how different would you say the U.S. is versus Italy?
It's really different. I would say growing up there, I have a different experience. Obviously, going there as a tourist is also completely different. from
I've never
living
been to
there.
Italy, but
It's beautiful to visit, obviously, but to live there, you kind of have to be once again like adaptable and can't take offense easily because people are like really direct. If they don't like you, like you'll know from the get-go. And yeah, it's a really tough culture to feel welcome in, especially as a foreigner. So, and I was kind of like a mixed breed, so walking into an Italian school, I was like kind of like a foreigner.
Okay,
'cause I'm
okay.
like a half and half.
which is honestly so cool. I've never been
Yeah.
out of the country. I was born in the United States. And the fact that you like live in another country, well, I guess even though you were born in the U.S., but
Yeah, but I definitely, I mean, when I moved out here, I felt like a foreigner again.
no, for
Because
sure.
I was like, whoa, everyone's so different and so free, I guess. And there it's very cookie cutter kind of, you know, you end up being a lawyer or a doctor, and that's kind of, or a politician. And if you're not doing those things, you're like not successful.
Okay, but like in the U.S., I feel like it's more like creator dominant, and
Exactly.
it's becoming that.
Which over there is like not cool.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be doing what I am doing here if I was living over there.
All right. That's honestly really cool, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't go back there to live, but I definitely love going back and forth. It makes me appreciate it a lot more.
No, for sure.
For sure.
Okay, so like you said, you felt like a foreigner when you went to Italy, but then when you came back, you felt like a foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like people were more accepting here?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, I was honestly thinking the opposite, but getting the insight, I can see that.
Yeah, and it was different at each age group because once I hit, elementary, middle school, I wasn't as much of a foreigner over there, but I still felt it, kind of.
All right.
Because my mom would, come around sometimes and pick me up, and she's blonde, blue-eyed, and I'd be like, who's this woman? She's definitely foreign. But, I looked both
Yeah, I think you do.
Italian and American, so it was probably more in my head than what the other students thought, I guess.
Yeah, no, I totally
But it's a very cliquey culture. For sure.
I believe that for sure.
Yeah.
But it is really different. I've heard it's harder to start your own company or do certain things in other countries versus the U.S.
Definitely. None of my friends over there have started their own business or...
They just work for someone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's how it kind of goes. 9 to 5 for the rest of your life. There's more vacation, though.
Yeah, than here.
Here, people like to work
It's
all
their
year
life.
round, and it's their life. So they know how to live over there as far as food, vacation, and...
To enjoy yourself,
Yeah.
not just your job. I know the United States is very work.
Yeah.
But then you can do other stuff, and I feel like it really is changing to more creative.
Yeah, and it's about the balance,
Yeah, because I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be an OBGYN, deliver babies, and that was before podcasting was really a thing.
Yeah.
And now that there are podcasts out, I don't know, I feel like this is what I like to do. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I get to meet so many people, which is huge for me. But my next question for you, what was the very first job you had in the United States?
I was actually a lifeguard.
Oh wait, I was lifeguard too.
Which, not a beach guard, which I know is the better.
Oh, I wasn't a
type
beach
of
guard.
I was,
That's hard.
At a country club. That was really fun.
No, I loved being a lifeguard.
Yeah. What was my second job? I was a server for a while.
Okay, yeah, that's what I do
A lot
now.
of different jobs.
I work in fine dining. Me and my boyfriend, that's how we met. And so, yeah. I know, so cute. Oh, not me knocking the water down. Okay, so right before we get into your whole True Tone Swim and your company, I want to know how you explain your career to people. When they're like, what do you do for a living? How do you say it?
That's tough. It's changed over the course of, especially this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to do more of the modeling and content creation side of things for the past, I would say, 5 years.
Okay.
And throughout college, because I just graduated 2 years ago.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay, I'm 25. You're doing way more than me right now. I'm proud.
No. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so Instagram, content creation, and I was part of an agency for a while.
Okay.
And did that through school, and then did some music video stuff, and that's kind of how I grew my account. And then as far as fashion related things, growing up in Italy, I feel like that was kind of ingrained in me from a young age, just because you're surrounded by, all these designers and fashion shows. And
Oh, I love that. I need to go to Italy. That's going to be our next vacation. Okay,
Yeah.
Italy.
You got it.
You gotta go.
Milan.
I love that. Yeah, honestly, I always just tell people, I haven't even told people I do podcasts and stuff. I've been better about it. I have.
Sure.
I've been a lot better. And I was saying this when I was talking on my other podcast with my friend, because I would always date guys and lie to them. I wouldn't say anything about my podcast, and I'd block them on my podcast account.
Stop. No way.
Yes, I would do all of this because they were not going to find out.
Hide story. Timed podcast.
I
No
block
way.
them from anything. I really would.
Oh my goodness.
I know. So this is huge for me to get out of my comfort zone and actually be on a pod or
Yeah.
and I have
I'm a
this
part of
guy
it.
being so
Steps.
supportive. No one else would do that for me. Thanks, babe.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
let's get into True Tone. And I want to tell you the story of where I was when I first came across your
Yeah, how
company.
did you find me?
Okay,
in the first
it was on Instagram. I was on my podcast Instagram, and I was laying in bed. It was the morning, we were having coffee, and I screamed in bed, and I was like, babe! I was like, look what I just found. This is so genius. This girl has like swimming suits that you can tan through.
Yeah.
I was like, that's every girl's dream. This is amazing. I'm going to ask her to be on the podcast. So then I reached out to you, and you were like, yes, I'd love to. I'm like, okay, I'm stoked with this.
That's amazing.
But I don't know, it's kind of crazy. I was in Utah just in my bed, and that's how you reached me.
Actually, I've had a lot of orders from Salt Lake.
I believe it. And I talk about it all the time.
Which I'm kind of surprised.
Really?
And Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago's
Kind
random.
of just random. Yeah.
Uh-huh. But that's how it works. Like, even if you reach out to, or not reach out, but like reach one person, and they talk, and it's like a whole entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, my first question for you is, what made you decide to start a swimming suit company?
So I've actually been in the process of making this company for 2 years now.
Okay.
But the initial idea, I had it in high school, I want to say, and it was always running through my mind, and it's like, I want to do this someday, you know?
Yeah, the thing that always
And
comes back.
The opportunity just never came around because I was in school and busy with sports and whatnot. And then during COVID, I was like, you know what? If I don't do it now, I'm going to regret it. So I'm just going to try it out. If it fails, it's just, I can do something else.
And it's not failing.
Yeah.
I feel like you're doing amazing.
So I actually only launched 2 months ago.
I saw that at the beginning of March, right?
Yeah, so I had a launch party, and then I went to Hawaii for 2 weeks because I was like, oh, it'll be a slow, gradual, company.
It's not slow. There's nothing about it slow.
While I was in Hawaii, one of my TikTok videos went viral, and that's when the orders started booming, and I got 500 orders that day, and then I was like, shoot, I'm here for another week. I need to get home. As I'm there on the beach, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm stressing so hard. I hope I have enough inventory.
But good stress.
Yeah, good stress. So yeah, TikTok is kind of
That's where it's at.
blew it up, because now I think one video is at 21 million or something, and that kind of
That is amazing. Honestly, I've been paying attention because I've just been watching you grow. And I think when I reached out to you, you had 7,000 followers, and that was a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
You've already doubled that on your...
And I was at 300, the first week and stuff, and I was like, wow, this is going to be, a long process. I'm going to have to do all these ads and Facebook ads, and I haven't paid a dime in any of those sponsored ads or any marketing besides having my friend do my TikToks.
I love that. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So what made you... So you said in high school... That's what made you want to start one. But did you know that it was going to be true tone? Did you know you wanted something tan through?
No, it definitely the tan through aspect.
Okay.
So I actually wouldn't start a swimsuit company if it was just a regular one, just because there's so many good ones out there.
And you need to stand out, but this is how you do.
And so I've worked with a lot of swimsuit brands, partnering and whatnot, so I knew what styles I liked, I knew what fabrics I liked, I knew what cuts looked good on everyone. And so... having tried so many, I think it was kind of easier to know what I wanted to do as far as designs. But yeah, as far as the tan through aspect, I don't think I would have done a regular line.
No, and that totally makes sense, because I think the tan through is what makes you stand out, truthfully.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I'm like, that is the most genius thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Although I forget what style it is of yours, but it is, every time I've looked, it's sold out.
I know, it's a problem.
I think it's the cute, I don't know the name of it, but the back comes down and then it ties again.
The Jane top.
Is that, that's so
my
cute.
mom's name.
Oh, you named that after her?
Yeah.
I love that. That is so cute. What is your favorite product right now that you've released in your swim line?
I love the Tonga set, which is your typical triangle and tie on the sides bikini. I'm releasing this really cute cover-up this week.
Do you know what? That was one of my questions.
One of my favorite items, I think, and these oversized tote bags.
That's so cute. I was wondering that. I was wondering if you were going to dabble into other products, which I'm sure.
And a men's line. I'm working on a men's line.
A tan through men's line, babe. Yeah. We're ordering, okay?
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah. So you mentioned that the process is taking 2 years. from, is that
Yes.
just like getting things together, finding people to make the stuff?
I didn't want to launch a product that I personally didn't want to buy.
For sure.
And I mean, I went through so many rounds of different samples as well. So like sizing and the fit of it and the quality of the material. So that took a really long time. I worked with a fabric engineer in Japan and this little city, Biella in Italy, who they're like specialized in fabrics. So that's kind of why it took so long, is because I was going through all these engineers and all these different styles and sample rounds. And with COVID, obviously everything's slower.
Even longer.
Yeah. So.
But would you say, okay, so you're using people outside of the US, right?
Mhm.
To do the products and send them to you and stuff?
Correct.
All right. How long have you been, did you switch any?
So initially I was going to go with Italy.
Okay.
And then I
that's-
went from Italy to Japan.
All right. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. And then, yeah, I was going to ask if you plan on adding other products, but you said the swimming suit cover-ups. Do you see? I'm like, cover-ups? Question mark. And so I've noticed that all your swimming suits are black, which I get it because it's kind of like a see-through material, but not really.
Yeah.
And black against skin hides that. So can you do other colors, like darker colors, or do you have to...
I'm going to do patterns eventually. I think black looks good on everyone.
It does,
And it's something that never goes out of style. And with, patterns, it's a hit or miss.
It is a hit or
like,
miss.
The cheetah print was everywhere 2 years ago. And now it's like...
yeah, I get that.
So I'm trying to figure out a pattern that'll stay trendy for a while.
Okay, I love that.
More coming for sure.
And the cover-ups. I'm excited. I'm going to order so many things. Look for my name when it comes through, okay? Do you have a team right now?
I do. So I have a legal team, and I
Okay.
made sure I had, like,
Everything
a good
in
legal
order,
team
yeah.
because there's actually a company that just came about that my friend that was modeling for me sent to me, and they're copying all the same images, everything
Of yours?
to a T, and I don't even think they sell products. I think they're just trying to scam, but yeah, so that's why I want to make sure I have a good legal team because I knew this was gonna come.
Okay.
And so shutting them down quickly, stuff like that.
So the legal team will handle all that. People stealing your ideas, okay.
It's definitely stressful.
That is so stressful.
Yeah,
and I see that with
patents and all of that is stressful. And then I have one girl working for me full time, and then I've just hired my friends kind of like on the go when I have a ton of orders. I'm like, hey, please come in and help me. And yeah, I need to build more of a team, so I'm interviewing right now.
Okay, that's
for
awesome.
3 different positions. Yeah.
If anyone lives in LA and wants
I
a
know.
job. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
exactly.
kidding. Okay, so my next question is, when you had your idea for True Tone, oh no, my tank top coming off, were there people in your life at the time that didn't support you, or was everyone pretty supportive?
I would say the older demographic of people were like, why would you want to be doing tan through like skin cancer? Oh, and if you read my TikTok comments, like it's all about skin cancer or we love tan lines. Why would you invent this? Just stuff like that. And it's like, I'm not trying to make everyone happy.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And
you're making enough.
And I have to
happy.
remind myself, you can't cater to everyone. And obviously there's always going to be upset people or people that don't support your idea. But as far as friends being supportive, everyone was, there for me and loved the idea, and unless they were lying.
I doubt they were lying, because honestly, it's a genius idea. I've just noticed that, and for my podcast, I feel like all the people in my life are very supportive.
Yeah.
But there was a time in my life when I first was like kind of messing around with it and having co-hosts and stuff like that, where there were people that didn't support me at all. But I think that comes with just not having
with the
right.
Instagram thing, people were very unsupportive.
Really?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Because it wasn't really a thing it was 6 years ago, and it wasn't that popular to be doing
like content creation,
and
yeah.
And I was going on trips like twice a week during school, and people were always like, why are you doing this? Like, I don't know, very skeptical about, is there a future in taking photos of like
which
hotels
there is.
and now I'm so grateful that I didn't let that get to me.
No, absolutely. And I think for me what helps is so many people have like paved the way and are doing it, where it's not it would be hard, like when it's frowned upon, because people
Yeah.
would be constantly hurting your confidence. But now it's really accepted.
Right. And now I
especially
have
here.
people, message me saying, "You're my motivation to start my own thing."
Aw.
And like seeing you do this, and this has made me, build up the courage to do it too. Stuff like that, which I'm like, "Oh, like I love that."
No, that is
I
so
want
cute.
people to do what they love, because otherwise, when it's too late, you regret it. So.
And what you were saying earlier, you're like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now.
Yeah.
That's honestly how I felt with my podcast. I'm like, I'm 25. If I'm going to do something, it is right now.
Right.
It is right this second. So then that's what I'm pursuing as of right now. But my next question about your company is, are you happy with like how everything's going so far? Is it growing a lot faster than you anticipated? Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Way faster. It, became a 6-figure company in the first week or two.
Which is
And
crazy.
I've sold over, I think, 6,000 bikinis in 2 months. Which
You were 24 years
I
old.
never could have imagined that. And that's why I was like, I'm going to do this, on my own, not hiring many people. And now I'm like, shoot, I need, customer service, packing people, all these different shoes to fill because I can't duplicate myself. So.
No, you can't, but
And you can't do everything. Otherwise, yeah.
It's a lot, too.
It's draining, for sure. It's a lot more work than I thought.
Even this is a lot more work than I thought, so I couldn't even
I
imagine
bet.
all of that.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but what would you say your biggest fear was, though, when starting it out?
I think that people wouldn't like my product, I would say. Because I've spent so much time building a product that
Mm-hmm.
I was passionate about. So, either not having any sales or people not liking my product, I think were my biggest fears.
But, I mean, it's working out really
Yeah.
good.
Which is why I feel like I didn't even talk about it that much going into it to people, because I was like, ooh, if it fails, I don't want to have
You're going to be embarrassed.
when people are
yeah.
asking me, how many sales have you had? I'm like 3, that would be, discouraging, so.
Well, it went the other direction for you, so that's
Yeah.
amazing. Were you working another job when you started the company, or were you like, I'm just doing this?
So I was doing the influencer thing pretty much full time, and
Okay.
I still do that part of the time. And yeah, still kind of do that when I have time. But I have my real estate license, so I did that
Oh, you
for
do?
a while. Yeah.
Is it in California that you have it?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's awesome. My roommate and my best friend, she just got her real estate license, so she's been doing that in Utah, but the homes are insane.
That's another thing that's a lot of work, and I feel like it's just not my scene. It's very aggressive.
Very
Especially in
aggressive.
Orange County, competing with some
Everyone's trying to get the big check.
Yeah, some
Get
big
that
people.
commission. So, my kind of last question about the swimming suit company is, has owning this company affected your body image? Do you feel like, or is it the same?
I think it was worse when I was part of a modeling agency where people would tell you have to be a certain size, or, they'd edit you out in certain ways. Yeah, that was definitely more of a body image.
That's so true. My
Situation.
friend, she is moved here, the one that I just interviewed,
Mm-hmm.
and she's trying to pursue modeling, and she's like, everyone tells you you're not skinny enough, this is what you need to eat, this is what you need to do, and it's,
Or you look too athletic, or, it's always something.
they always
So
have something to say, of course.
that was definitely more of a tough situation. But now, no, I don't really want to be in all of the photos or anything. So I love managing photo shoots and like finding people and finding photographers and putting shoots together.
Which is amazing. So you recommended that I get on Peerspace, and that's how I found the studio.
Oh, amazing.
I know. I've used them once before because my friend and her boyfriend have like a studio in Salt Lake.
Okay.
So when I did my cover shoot for my podcast, I rented out theirs.
Mm,
But is that what you do to rent out stuff for your photo shoots, is go through Peerspace?
usually.
Okay, yeah, there's some awesome studios. Podcast studios, they're working on that.
Probably
But
not so much,
photography,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. There's got to be so many. And so my next question for you is, what advice would you give to someone who wants to start a company? Specifically, like in clothing or just anything in general.
I think obviously it boils down to marketing and social media, especially right now. I would say it's all in timing. Like, I got really lucky with the whole TikTok thing. If I had started my business, 3 years ago, it might have not taken off the way it did now.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say just, looking at other companies with the same niche and kind of working off that and seeing what worked for them. So if someone was starting another swim line right now, I'd be like, get on TikTok early on. Make sure your product is better than other products you've seen out there because you're competing with so many other people. Get in with boutiques, like have conversations with people that have started their own business. I think talking to more people
Put yourself
that
out there.
have done their own thing is huge. Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. And like, it's scary, but you have to put yourself out there. It's the only way.
Absolutely.
And then it's like, I think what's really hard with like, I mean, it's not hard, but with my podcast and with your swimming suit company, we put so much time and effort and work into this that if it doesn't work, it almost feels like,
Personal.
yourself. Yeah, it is. It's not personal, but it is personal.
Yeah.
You're like, I put so much time and effort and this is me, and I don't feel accepted because people aren't accepting me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what really can be really hard mentally.
Definitely.
But, I mean, you're doing it and you're doing amazing.
And picking people's brains. I mean, everyone has a different story. Everyone's success story is different. Everyone's experience with manufacturers is different. Yeah.
And there's so many ways to, like, access things, like information from people or
YouTube and
anything.
Google. Yeah.
And honestly,
Yeah,
with my
yes.
podcast, as horrible as this is, I mean, it's not that horrible, but for me, I'm like, I kind of don't have all that funding to do everything right away. So
Right.
I got an LLC, business card, everything, and then it'll just take me paying that off personally until I can make some
Right.
income and then doing that. But
And that's another thing. I think a lot of people are too nervous to invest in their ideas. And I would say, invest in it because that's the only way to accomplish what you want to accomplish. And if you're passionate about it, then it will succeed because you're putting that much work into it.
it's true. The more
So-
work you put in, for sure, you're going to get so
Yeah.
much more out of it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I cannot believe, like, seriously, I've been paying attention to everything, and I'm like, she's growing. I'm like this fan sitting here just watching you. I'm like, this is so adorable. I
don't
love
think
everything.
I've processed it yet, honestly. It's just been like go, go, go. So it still hasn't really
It's been,
clicked.
what is it, May? May? The beginning of May.
It's
You launched
May.
it 2 months ago.
It's weird going out and about and like my friend will be like, oh yeah, this is my friend, she started the Panther Company. And they're like, what? I've seen that. Or having friends from 10 years ago text me and be like, oh my gosh, my friend just showed me this video and you were in it. Like, what are you doing? Da, da, da. So it's cool to, see it grow so quick
For sure.
without expecting it to.
That is so awesome, though. Like, you gotta be proud of yourself. I bet your parents are like, my little champion.
Yeah, they came and helped me pack orders a few weeks ago.
Aw.
Like, so excited for me, yeah.
That is so
That's good.
exciting. Honestly, I bet it would be, I hope my kids succeed. I don't have any kids right now. I'm guessing you don't either. Do you have a
No,
kid?
I do not have kids.
Are you in a relationship?
I'm not.
Okay, hustle.
How's-
Listen, he's
yeah.
just supportive. That's the only way this works. But I stayed single for a very long time.
I just got out of a relationship recently, so I'm taking this time to like work on myself, my business.
Yeah,
and,
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
And you've got this. It's
been
such a
busy
good...
anyway, so it's good timing.
Yeah, you probably don't have time to date with everything going on.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so my next question about owning your own company, would you say, I think I already know the answer to this, but would you say it's more work or less than doing a 9 to 5 every day?
I mean, you're working like
All the time,
constantly.
yeah.
I'm always checking emails and like checking on people's order or talking to Japanese manufacturers. So, yeah, you're never not working. So you really need to like balance your time.
For sure. It's nice because I feel like you can do things at the same time. Like, you can go out to lunch with your friends or like, and put
Right.
things on hold. But with the 9 to 5, once you leave your job, you can
Yeah.
be done for the day, but that doesn't really happen when you're working for
Even
yourself.
when I'm sold out, like there's so many emails to answer. There's so many, thinking ahead. That's the other thing is thinking ahead for the next drops. You have to think months in advance.
How often are you doing your drops?
It kind of depends on supply chain,
Yeah.
honestly. I'm doing 3 more in the next 3 months.
Okay, perfect. I need to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to put your bell notifications on so I know when you're dropping your product, and I'm going to get my hands on that cover-up, the swimming suit,
It's
and
really
you're getting
cute.
one too, babe.
It's really cute.
I'm sold too.
Good, because I'm using your credit card. Thank you. Love you.
70-30.
Anyway, so my next question I would say is, what is your biggest goal you're currently working towards for True Tone?
I think establishing a good team and kind of a more steady process, I guess. I just don't like not being in stock for too long and, having people wait on their order for too long, or because that was the problem initially is I had my inventory was just not as much as I thought.
Because you didn't think you were going to sell that much.
Exactly, and so kind of just keeping up with everything
Yeah.
is the goal for right now. But bigger goal, is I'm working on getting with Revolve and like having more. I'm in 3 boutiques.
Okay,
So
that's
I'm getting in more boutiques abroad as well. So one's in Italy, one's in Spain, and one's in Arizona.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so
I love that.
Doing more of that and like collaborating with other brands and.
If you get in with Revolve, I'm going to scream for you on the inside. I love that. That is absolutely amazing. But I feel like I know where you said it was stressful at first because your inventory was off. I feel like that's the better problem to have, because the other problem is people aren't buying your product.
Right.
But that's not the issue, you know?
Right.
People like it. They are accepting you and your company and everything that you are, which is incredible. At 24, I'm like, want to curl up in a ball. I'm like, Anyways, I love that. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Of course.
It has been so much fun. Please plug in your social media accounts.
Yeah, so True Tone Swim is the swim account, and I'm Isa Biscarini.
I love that. I will tag her when I post all of this stuff after I send it to my editor. But thank you so much for coming on. Thank you guys for listening. And my personal Instagram is Jess with 3 S's, .Ariel, spelled Arielle. And the podcast is at She's Intimidating. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.